Hi guys, I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor here in Central Texas. And today I'm going to share with you places to stay and visit if you're coming to Austin with the intention to eventually move here. That was a mouthful, but I think you understood what I meant. So the inspiration for this video was the fact that I have a lot of clients that move to Austin, and even though they have kind of a general idea of where they want to live, they're not 100% sure where they should stay on their visit and like what they should check out necessarily to get a real feel for the neighborhoods that they're interested in. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna tell you kind of generically 4 major spots in Austin that people really like to look for homes. I'm gonna tell you where they're located, what they are, what the culture is like there, and the top couple like bullet points of why those places are popular. And before I begin, please make sure to click the notification button and make sure to subscribe so you get notified every time I do videos like this one. I often do videos about cool neighborhoods in Central Texas, things to do, and market conditions. So if you want to stay updated in the real estate market in Central Texas, make sure to subscribe and like my video. The first thing I'd recommend if you are visiting Austin with the intention to move here, once you have a general idea of where you want to live, I would book a hotel within about a 3-mile radius of that neighborhood so you can see what the general culture, timing, and overall vibe is of that area. A lot of times I'll tell clients if there's like a particular neighborhood or zip code that they want to live in, like wake up in the morning, go to local coffee shops, see who's there, see what the energy's like, if it vibes with you, and what your overall feeling is of it. Every now and then I have clients that come into town that want to live in like Round Rock or Cedar Park, which are 2 really nice suburbs that we have, and they'll like stay downtown in this really trendy area and they're like, I love Austin, there's always a party going on. And it's like, no, not if you're gonna be living in Round Rock. Like there's no parties. It's like barbecues, right? Okay, so let me get started on the areas and what I recommend. If you're somebody who likes a more traditional kind of suburban feel and you like homes that are built more in, I would say, like master planned communities, I highly recommend the northern suburbs. Areas like Round Rock, Cedar Park, and Leander. Round Rock is typically known for having really good schools. It's a very established suburb and it's always been really desirable. Cedar Park is a suburb that's been growing a lot in the last, I'd say, 10 years. They have some really good schools as well. Some are better than others, so if that's important, please check greatschools.org. It's a really good place to take a look. And then lastly, I recommend Leander. Leander's located northwest of Austin. It's kind of a drive. It's about 35 minutes depending on where you're coming from. It currently feels very suburban. There's not a ton going on, but there are some really big projects in the works. And there's some really big like park community centers, if you will, that are supposed to be opening within the next year or 2. Some of the things to do, for instance, like in Round Rock is a really cute little downtown area located literally on Main Street. Round Rock is also known for the outlets. The Round Rock outlets are super nice. There's a lot of variety there and it's set up really nicely and it's super comfortable and it's a good place like to just go walking. Also, the northern suburbs are generally anywhere from like 15 to about 25 minutes to the Domain, which is a big outdoor shopping center. I'd say mixed use space that has shopping, of course. They've got movies, restaurants, bars, and all sorts of entertainment. One thing that Austin is actually really well known for is our hill country and our beautiful scenery. If you like rolling hills and big trees and lots of vegetation, if you will, I highly recommend the hill country. The hill country is actually pretty expansive. It goes from northwest Austin to Westlake, which is just west of the downtown area, to Bee Cave and Lakeway. All of those areas are known for their rolling hills, lots and lots of trees, and super scenic drives. It's literally called the hill country because it is super hilly in like the absolute best way, and it is beautifully scenic. Also, most of the hill country is zoned for Lake Travis ISD, which is really highly rated. So we tend to see a lot of folks that are very family oriented and put a lot of priority in their children's educations in those areas. It is a more expensive part of town. I tend to see larger homes. There's also a lot of variety. There are a lot of homes that are kind of like independently built in really nice neighborhoods. And then there's more like cookie cutter master plan communities as well. If you're gonna be living west, like in the Bee Cave and Lakeway area, some of the places that people really like to visit are the Galleria, which is like an outdoor shopping center as well. They've got like a library there, which is kind of random, like an outdoor patio park area. There's a Whole Foods there. There's lots of shopping there, local coffee shops, restaurants, a couple bars, and just lots of things to do in general. So let me switch gears 100% completely turn around. And if you're the type of person that likes to be in the middle of everything, if you like to hear music on the street, if you like to see what your neighbors are up to, if you like to hear the highway and just like to hear humans and things all around, I super recommend the downtown area in general. This would include downtown, Clarksville, South Congress, and I would say East Riverside. All of these areas are super urban. There is so much going on there. And I mean that like in a really good way. That's totally my jam. I love being in the middle of everything. There's always music, there's restaurants, there's always people out and about. Most of our events in Austin are downtown. So if you like doing events like ACL, for instance, Austin City Limits, which is one of our, it's like the biggest music festival we have in Austin, that goes on downtown. If you live in a condo high rise, while that's going on, you open your windows, you can probably hear that going on. There is just so much variety. It's close to the lake. So if you like paddleboarding or kayaking or running on the trails and just being in a really cool urban, trendy area, that is probably a really good setting for you. The last spot that a lot of my clients like to check out is the South Austin area. This would include the Slaughter Lane area, Brody, and William Cannon. This is everything that is south of Highway 290. South Austin used to be like a very earthy, organic, hippie part of town, and it still kind of is. However, it's been growing a lot in the last decade, so it's become super trendy, and there is so much variety as far as like the style of homes. There are literally homes that were built like in the 1950s that are on huge patches of land that are really close to the city. Those have become very expensive, by the way. And then there's also like more master planned communities. I see a lot of condo setups there. I've seen some like modern townhomes being built there as well. And the cool thing about that area is that it's right between basically 3 highways. So Highway 290, which goes east and west, IH-35, which is north and south, and MOPAC, which is also north and south. So if you're living right in the middle of all of that, you've got super quick access to all of the highways. In full transparency, schools there are not great. We tend to see a demographic that generally doesn't have like a lot of kids, or if they do, they end up sending them to private school. But it's just a really cool place to be. And because it's so up and coming and so trendy, there's always tons of stuff going on. So that is my very generic overview of where to stay and areas to check out if you are visiting Austin with the intention to move here. The trip coming here as a tourist is very different than coming here as somebody who would potentially like to buy a home here. Like I said, it's very high level. I didn't get into tons of details because each of the neighborhoods that I mentioned is so different. If you want more information on each of the neighborhoods, please make sure to leave a comment. Also, if you are thinking of relocating or selling a home anywhere in Central Texas, please feel free to reach out. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me, you can send me an Instagram DM, whatever works for you. If you're thinking about making a move, I got you.